Yeah, now Chip, you go back up and see if it works.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it echoing?
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds a little echoey, but it's fine.
All right. Hey, we're live. It is a crazy, crazy week after fantasy. Oh, my God. This is just nuts. We will start off, as we always do, with a recap of last week. Okay, Mark, you were wrong on the 49ers with the Green Bay. Sorry, dude. It just is what it is, right?
Very, very wrong.
Yeah. And there's Steven, Tom, and Scooter all went for Washington last week, and it was the Giants. So
How about that?
that was a split, and that was just crazy. I mean, flip a coin, right? Who knows?
So let me ask you, is the Giants defense good? Because they've looked good. Like the last 3 weeks, they've looked pretty good. Like the eyeball test and everything.
Yeah, I think they're like decent, but get stats, if that makes sense. Like they're not good because it's not like they're going out there and holding people under 20 points ever.
Yeah. Well, they did Brady.
Yeah. Well,
They played him
I don't know what to say about the Bucks, honestly, at this point. I think that's a confusing team, but yeah, it's like they're like because like I look at the Giants because like fantasy wise they're actually pretty decent, and it's because they usually let up like 20, but then they get 2 sacks, a pick, and a fumble recovery. So it's like, okay, that's not a horrible day. In fantasy, that goes a long way.
Right.
But the Giants' last 2 or 3 weeks were what? Washington, Dallas, and Rams. I mean, are you good, or is it the teams you're playing? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be just that division.
That's true.
Was it?
But also, I mean, that matters. I mean, not as much going forward at this point, but to have a defense like the Giants, knowing you're facing those crap teams twice a year.
Yeah.
But with a team like the Giants, who I expect to go out there and get their ass beat, it's like the fact they're playing, even though they're bad teams, I thought they were a really bad team. So, like, I guess, like, the fact that their defense is playing that well, and it's like, I guess they're okay against other bad teams. Like,
well, and turnovers have like they're super lucky if you like try you can't duplicate turnovers from game to game, even though they kind of are. But I would never project that they're going to keep getting one pick and one fumble recovery each game.
Yeah,
well, exactly. For every time that Daniel Jones throws a pick, they have to go out.
True.
Golly,
that's a fumbling dude right there.
Yeah, he is.
Ranked number 12, the 12th defense. 12th best.
Yeah.
Better than
Again, I mean, it all reflects on the teams you play, though. You know what I'm saying? If they played Kansas City or if they played somebody like that, let's see what their defense does, and then, I mean, I'm not. Listen,
they look good against the Bucks. That's why.
Every NFL game. I mean, it's important, and I get that. I mean, that makes sense. But I'm just saying that it could be
like Dallas defense on Pittsburgh. That one was a little surprising.
Yeah.
It's just when they show up, I guess. Next one was Houston and Jacksonville. Chipper, you had Jacksonville. Everybody else had Houston. And Chipper, you were wrong.
Close, though.
It was.
It's close one.
Yeah. I think Houston's going to do that every game, no matter who.
That one was kind of a toss-up for me, though. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Both are equally bad.
And then the Bears and Tennessee Titans, everybody took the Titans, and for good reason, because they won. Panthers and Chiefs, everybody took the Chiefs. Even myself, I took the Chiefs, and everybody won. So
that was my biggest team surprise, though. I can't believe the Panthers freaking were even
they competed
in that game.
McCaffrey, thumbs up.
Yeah.
If McCaffrey's there, I'm just telling you, if McCaffrey's there, there's going to be they always have a chance, I would say. I'm just going to say. And how about Samuel, though? Samuel he's my surprise player, but man, using him from running back, using him as receiver, using him as whatever. Yeah. I mean, I like kind of mixing it up, because with McCaffrey and him both, now the defense, what the hell do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was very impressed with what they did. It was a good game.
Down run from Bridgewater was
yeah, you're not going to see that every week.
On the line for that first down.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. Seattle and Buffalo Bills. Everybody had Seattle except for Chipper had Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
And I remember y'all questioned me last week for making that
We
pick.
did. We did. Just because Seattle looked so good all year and everything. It was at Buffalo. I know that home field this year doesn't really I mean, everybody says, oh, home field doesn't matter. I think home field, especially, I don't know. I do think there's something about it. You don't have to travel. You don't have to.
Well,
worry
this
about,
is just like a prime example of what I was saying about Seattle is that like they could go make a deep playoff run, sure, or they could make it to the Super Bowl, but I'm not predicting them to do that because, I mean, Russell Wilson will literally have to go out there and score 50 points every single game
That's
Yeah,
good
in,
point.
in order for them to
One
win.
hiccup from Russell and they lose the
Good
game.
point.
Exactly.
Good point.
That's
Good
why I'm
point.
saying like I just don't see them as a Super Bowl team. Obviously they're really good, and obviously they'll win that division and all that
Good
good
point.
stuff. But like, this is the prime example of what I see happening at some point in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you know, as far as the other thing is too, you said they'll win that division. I don't know. I mean, 49ers, how are they even close to a win with as many injuries as they have? I mean, they don't have a running back.
Yeah.
They don't have a starting running back, and they still hold their own fairly well. I'm impressed with that. I mean, that division has become a lot better.
I mean, that's
too.
why we all like pretty clearly picked the 49ers at the beginning, but then we realized how many injuries they've had and stuff. But I mean, that just shows they should have won that division had they had a healthy team. But
I think the
Since they're not-
designation for the 49ers DST actually said questionable.
The what?
really, the whole thing.
The whole team.
I see. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Just
That's a good idea. The next game was the Lions and Vikings. Everybody took the Vikings except for Steven took the Lions, and Steven, you were wrong.
Dalvin's too good. I should have just stuck with them.
I know.
could have gone either way too, though.
But when I chose that, I also didn't know that Stafford and Stafford actually ended up playing, but he didn't practice all week, so that was a weird.
Mhm.
If I had known that he was like whatever hurt, I would have never picked them. But
Mark, how's it feel? I'm halfway through, and we haven't had to single you out this week at all.
we already did game one, I thought.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did one. Okay, I'm sorry. One game.
I put more than 30 seconds into my picks. That's why.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just kidding. Denver, Atlanta. We had Chipper and Steven went with Denver. Everybody else went Atlanta. And Steven and Chipper, you lost. You were wrong.
Yeah. How about those Falcons?
Honestly, I think it's time to just. I mean, the Falcons are just a different team now. Like they're what we kind of thought they were at the beginning of the year. Like that game right there. Like Denver has a good defense, and they went and freaking put up 30 something, 34.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, and they didn't melt down in like the fourth quarter. Like I mean, maybe that was just that coach. I mean, I have no idea, but Atlanta's going to be super hard to pick going forward because I don't know what team they are.
Yeah.
Same with Houston. Same with the Chargers. You know.
Yeah.
With the Vikings, it's like, wow, where the hell did that come from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference is on some of those teams, though, you know, like Houston, you lost Hopkins, and then Chargers have a brand new quarterback who's a young guy who's, at least with Atlanta, it's all the same.
Yeah.
For the most part, the same guy. So it's just like, okay, wait a minute, which one's going to show up?
Well, Atlanta's defense was allowing like 40
That's true.
games,
Right,
so,
and they're not doing that anymore. Like,
right. These last couple of games, they're actually. I mean, they're not. Don't get me wrong. They're not like
I know. Yeah.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, but they're at least holding the. You know, they're making it stop.
But people aren't feasting on them. Like,
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's not like, oh, you go out there. Like, I remember like the Packers game versus Atlanta, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers was just throwing to whoever the hell he wanted to. Like, they won the game by halftime, and I know the Packers are a high-powered offense and all that, but
Right.
like I remember a couple weeks ago when Carolina played them, and Carolina who freaking looks good pretty much every other week, but then the Falcons kind of stopped everything they wanted to do. Like, I don't know. Like, the Falcons are just really hard to judge for me right now.
Big time.
Well, I think as soon as they lost their coach, I think that they had to make a decision. Hey, what are we going to do? And anytime you get an interim coach, anytime that happens, hey man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. Help me out. Whatever. Our season doesn't matter. Let's just go out there and he's probably just stirring the pot and changing things up.
Yeah.
Or maybe the quarterbacks feel like they have a little bit of room to breathe. Same thing that happened at Houston. Saw the show Boston change completely when Bill O'Brien was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's true. Baltimore, Indy, everybody took Baltimore, and then we have Raiders and the Chargers. We had myself and Tom took the Chargers, and we were wrong. Those Raiders.
Damn Chargers, they'll do it to you for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
They know how to lose.
Great and lose.
Yeah, the Raiders defense is in the gutter.
Well, and it goes back to, like you were saying, like you took him because of Herbert, and I was telling you, I mean, he's going to get his, and he will always get his, but the Chargers will just lose games.
Yeah.
Herbert is great.
I'm high on him like you are on Burrow. You know, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. We just can't win the games, but boy, he does look good. God, he looks good.
So
he puts the ball where he needs it. It's Herbert.
There's a lot of good young quarterbacks right now. I mean, when you think about it, there's tons. I mean, my goodness, Tua and all these guys.
And I'm really glad for it too, because I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I just felt like I was like, oh man, what's gonna happen to all the quarterbacks? Because it just felt like all the old guys were now getting too old, and I was like, man, the quarterbacks in this league are gonna end up sucking. But now, I mean, we had to have a young quarterback emergence, and I'm glad it's actually happening.
Yeah, me too. Because there was a drought there for a while.
There was, and I was like, oh man, everybody's getting too old. All the good ones, like, who's gonna step up?
There's that whole. Remember RG3 that whole year? What year was that? But anyhow,
that was Luck, RG3, and Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
that was like the three best rookie quarterbacks ever.
Right.
Andrew Luck, yeah.
And then after that, you just went nothing.
And you had the Sam Darnold, the Matt Barkley's, a run of just nothing.
So what's his name, Rosen or whatever?
Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, God. What was the guy that was always hurt for the Rams? I mean, always. He never had a game.
Sam Bradford. Granted, he was so good.
It was good when
Bradford was so good. But he could not stay healthy.
He couldn't stay in season. Jairus has a comment up here. He says, Jonathan Taylor or Jalen Rigger?
For what?
I assume a flex spot, because that's a receiver for Philly and a running back.
Is that a trade or a flex spot?
Yeah, I guess regardless, if you're looking at which one we like more, I'm still in the Jonathan Taylor bandwagon.
I think that they just didn't give him the opportunities, and then after that fumble, it was like,
yeah. And I just think they're not giving him the opportunities. But I don't know. I think it's just going to take, I thought it was going to happen with Swift. I thought it was going to take one really good performance, and then they're like, okay. But I mean, granted, he's competing with Adrian Peterson, which I know he's old and everything. So I get why they're not completely handing the game to Swift. But with Jonathan Taylor, Hines is fine as a third down back. But I think if Jonathan Taylor ever turns into the old,
is that the Lions?
No, Jonathan Taylor's.
I don't mean him. No.
DeAndre Swift's the Lions.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Lions. Yeah.
But I know Eckler is the one that comes to mind. Melvin Gordon, any of the freaking Phillip Rivers running backs for the past however long, have been so good at fantasy.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor is super talented. I don't understand why we can't make that work yet, but
he just
I haven't seen enough out of Rager yet, though. I mean, he's talented.
I just read the note with Rager, and they were saying that he might be featured coming up because he was on the IR there since week 2. So they were saying that Deshaun Jackson and Ertz and all of them are still going to be out for a few more weeks, so could be good.
I'd probably shoot my shot on him because you don't know.
Right.
Jonathan Taylor, you kind of know that they're just not using him, but Jalen Rager, you don't know, So, if you've got a high risk, high reward type deal with Rager.
All right, let's get back to this. Finish this up real quick. We got Pittsburgh over Cowboys. Everybody had that, but all of us lost almost on that one.
You know, like that super annoyed me though, because I got Pittsburgh's defense, and like that should have been like an easy 50 points.
Yeah.
And like they went out there and like didn't play well until what, the fourth quarter, I think, maybe third quarter.
15 points.
Yeah, like I don't know, that was so frustrating.
Isn't this like the first time Dallas has scored in double digits, like in like 5 weeks or something?
Probably
over 3 points.
Yeah.
Stopping people on third downs was like, who is this? Who are these people?
Where did these guys come from?
You're Dallas. You don't do that.
Then we had Miami Cardinals. We were split last week on that, and Steven, Mark, and Scooter all came up with the win on. We know Steven is with Miami, but
That's
Mark
right.
and Scooter took Miami.
Yeah,
Man,
that was
they looked impressive. I mean, Tugaluga or whatever. He's doing pretty damn good.
You know, it trips me out is Kyler Murray was the second leading rusher.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Over both teams.
Stat line was crazy. Like 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns.
He earned his paycheck. Oh,
Yeah. No shit.
He looked good.
Yeah,
He's fun to watch.
He had more total. I think he had more total yards than Miami did.
So again, Miami's defense. Can I ask you guys? Are they?
Yes.
They're not. They haven't scored in 2 straight weeks though.
Yeah, they're on again.
Like, I am worried. Like, I mean, granted, they'll probably win this week because they got the Chargers, so the Chargers will lose that game. But I don't know how Tua is going to do because Tua hasn't really been lighting it up. I think he's been doing good and like solid, but I'm interested if his defense doesn't give him a touchdown. Is he going to be able to do what he needs?
And you can't really count on that every week.
No. And if it happens every week, then ride it out. I mean, roll with it. But,
so their schedule for the rest of the season looks pretty good too, though. I mean, favorable towards Miami. So your division win run here looks pretty good, Steven.
yeah, except the Bills also look good. I mean,
right.
Bills look great too, but yeah, that's going to be.
They're
nice.
what I think 1.5 games ahead because they haven't had their bye yet.
Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, whenever they play, I don't know when the Dolphins and Bills play. I don't know how many times they have, if they've already played once or not. But
I don't think
those
they
games
have.
obviously be
I think they have both of
massive.
them toward the end of the season.
I would
pretty
take
excited.
in that though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's great. He's just nuts.
And the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, who was it? I think Tom, you and I were talking about it. We were expecting the complete opposites. Close game would be on Sunday and the blowout would be on Monday, and not at all the case. I mean, New England tried to lose that game.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just crazy.
yeah, exactly.
I know that was mark my words. The Jets were going to win by 3.
I know.
They said that almost happened.
Almost.
Almost.
I know.
They
Yeah.
should have won.
Yes.
they did a lot of things to make sure they lost, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It really felt like they were like truly tanking without like saying it out loud.
Right.
Like they played competitively, but then one time they punted. They punted while they were on New England's 41 on 4th and 3,
Yeah.
which was, I think I looked it up and it was like the most cowardly punt since 2009. So that's not playing to win. That's playing to like not get blown out if you're punting for, because you think like maybe you pin them in, but let's just say you punt it to the 10, you switch 30 yards. Like that's not a big deal. Like, and then Flacco, after one New England score, he got the ball back and just threw it 90 yards down the field to get interceptions. Like, what are you doing?
I know, like 1st and 10 on the 20 or something.
Yeah, because usually after like a turnover is where you take your shot play.
Right.
Because everybody, like the game's kind of, but like not usually after they score on you, just because if that happens again, they have all of the momentum in that game. So I don't know. I mean, once again, it's not like I'm surprised because it's Adam Gase and the Jets, but good Lord. Cam couldn't have played any worse in that game I mean, he played okay in the fourth quarter, I guess, to like bring him back. But
What, he got like 2 rushing touchdowns. He has a lot of rushing yards. I mean,
well, yeah, because he tried
does
4
look
times
terrible.
on the one.
His stat
looks
line didn't
terrible.
look bad, but when you were watching, it didn't feel like he was doing
It
well.
was painful.
No, not at all. He's looked
So nothing
terrible.
brings me more pleasure than to see New England, Cam Newton, Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady suck.
Yeah.
It happened Monday and Tuesday, so it wasn't painful for me on Sunday. I was actually having a lot of fun watching that.
Same Buccaneers game. I mean, I was really looking for a shutout. I mean, I was loving it.
I enjoyed
Really
that.
loving it.
Well, yeah, and they went and the JJs went and kicked a field goal at the end to make
Oh,
sure
I
they didn't
know.
get shut out.
That was-
Come on, like don't do that. Try to score. But both those games hurt me big time because I thought it was going to be pretty easy because Chris Godwin. Well, one, he actually got freaking 6 or 7 fantasy points, which from that offense that game was actually probably the highest.
Yeah.
If they had been any bit relevant, he probably would have gotten an easy 15. And then Damian Harris, he had that one run that looked so good, and then I don't think he gave great effort, but he got knocked out at the one. And then they put Rex Burkhead in for the score. And
Well, he got hurt.
Well, he got hurt at the end of the game. I'm talking. This was like second quarter, or whenever New England started making their comeback, and they ran in like a toss play to the left. Damian Harris ran out there. They knocked him out at the one, and then they put Burkhead in for the 1 yard run. It's like, okay, just let the guy finish the drive.
Burkhead's been stealing fantasy points for like 6 years.
Good God! And what's so annoying is like if they would just make him the feature back, I'm fine with him being the good one.
But no, they just put him in there.
No.
Just screw your ass up.
Yeah.
On a fan, it's like if you're a Sony Michel guy or if you're a James White guy. Oh, there's Burkhead. They're putting him in on the 3
And
line.
that's annoying too, is because basically Damian Harris was splitting with freaking Burkhead.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, third down. So this isn't really Burkhead's like specialty. And they're like, oh yeah, we got James White. I'm like, oh my God. Why my guys played like 12 snaps tonight.
I've never trusted a New England running back. Them in Detroit. I don't know, for whatever reason, since Barry Sanders, Detroit is like, he put a curse on the team when he left. Oh, nobody's going to be as good as me.
Crazy. All right. How about biggest surprise player or biggest letdown player? I know who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. That just surprised the hell out of me. I know that we expect a lot out of him, but that was just unbelievable performance as far as what he did and really tried to carry the team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, put it all on his shoulders. That was pretty impressive. I mean, that was.
He did have an impressive day. It was really nice to look at. He didn't throw it to DeAndre Hopkins, which pissed me off.
Like ever.
No, but it was just, but it was a surprise, though. I mean, it was, to me, it was just such a surprise that he did that well. You know what I'm saying?
I think my biggest surprise, which maybe it's not a surprise, it could be as a most improved, but is Judy. He's finally finally working his way to being their number one, which we all knew he had talent coming in, but like he finally showed it.
Yeah, good point.
Mine is not a surprise necessarily, but credit where credit is due. My boy Dalvin, over 200 yards on the ground.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So one day someone's going to call him the best running back in the league and stop trying to hide. One day they'll give him credit for being good, but
if Minnesota was considered decent, then he'd probably get his credit.
Well, Peterson got his creds with Minnesota, and they always sucked when he was on there too.
No, they were all right. I mean, they made playoff runs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Brett Favre got him like the NFC Championship.
Oh, yeah, far.
But like honestly, like it's crazy. Like if I was a defense, and I think they're doing it, you can stack the box against the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is not a threat.
It doesn't matter.
Even with a stacked box, Dalvin Cook is still like. I mean, like his big run this week. Yeah, sure. He only like broke one tackle, I mean, he shed the tackle pretty good, but he's just gone. If you miss one tackle on him, he's gone.
Yeah,
I think Minnesota's running O-line is super good though too.
True.
Like not to take any I'm not trying to say that Dalvin's not the best runner, but I think their run offense is just like super solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he averaged like 10 yards per carry. Like that doesn't just happen just because you're a good running back.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you're right.
Kind of like San Francisco's run offense. It don't matter who they get here.
Theirs is definitely scheme.
They're on their sixth string running back. I mean, yeah, it's got to be a line.
I think Shanahan. I think Shanahan's a incredible offensive mind.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
I mean, all the different type of plays you run out of every single formation, that's incredible, and I think it makes that run game it catches you off guard.
And I just looked as well. Like even Alexander Madison, the backup for Dalvin, had 69 yards to go along with Dalvin's 200. Like that's just insane.
Yeah.
The backup getting 69 yards with somebody on your team getting 200 as well.
Yeah, when Dalvin was out, Madison didn't do well. It's like they do better with each other.
Yeah.
It's so weird. That just never seen that.
Actually, the last time Dalvin got hurt, when Madison took over for that game, there was a lot of hype around it because Madison ran for over 100 yards in that game.
Right, in the second
So
half.
maybe Dalvin just beats the shit out of people mentally because he's so good. And then once the other guy gets in, they're just I don't know how to tackle anymore.
I don't know what kind of runner Madison is, but maybe it's a change of pace thing too. Maybe Dalvin lays the groundwork for some kind of game, and then Madison just complements it well or something as well.
Like Derrick Henry does for himself, and people just get tired of that.
Yeah, exactly. So then when somebody comes in for Henry and they're actually juking and stuff like that, not just mowing people over, they're like, what is this? I didn't expect this.
You know who was quite impressive too this week was Allen. And what he did against Seattle, that was just unbelievable. I think he had the most yards, didn't he? 415.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I mean, just 3 touchdowns to do that to Seattle. I mean, I know what Chipper was saying a little earlier or whatever, but
everybody does that to Seattle. But
well, I know, but I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair too, he even got sacked 7 times and still did that well.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
I think he has proven to be if he plays a bad defense, he will absolutely throw for 400 yards.
Yeah.
But if he plays for a good defense, he will only throw for 250.
Yeah.
He does not beat good defenses.
Right.
Granted, they still win games because their defense is good and whatever. Sometimes all you need is that.
Buffalo had what? Buffalo had 5 sacks and 7 tackles for a loss. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge.
But if you give Josh Allen a good matchup, he will absolutely torch them.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty impressive. He really was pretty impressive.
I almost picked him in freaking DraftKings, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
What about letdown? Anybody have anything stands out as far as the letdown for you?
I guess the whole Bucs offense. But Corey Davis from the Titans, I think we had just talked about how he kind of stepped it up this year, and he went out there with a dud.
Didn't he goose?
Yeah, he goosed 3 targets, 0 catches.
Yeah, I think because I gave him most improved when he finally got over 100 yards or whatever, and then he goes out and gets 0. I was like, what are you doing?
So John Brown was in. No, wait, that's a different team. It was Tennessee. I'm thinking Buffalo. So AJ Brown's the only one that did anything on Tennessee's offense that week.
Yeah.
Even Derrick Henry didn't have a good game.
I know.
So
I mean, I know the Bears' defense is good, but it's just a goose egg. That's a little much for me.
Did he get targeted?
3 targets.
Times.
See, that's not enough to be relevant.
True.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Brown got 9. Fursker got 6, and then it was 3, 2, and 1. They just didn't throw the ball much.
I know. Fursker or whatever his name is over John Smith. Who's your more talented guy? I don't know.
But John Who got a touchdown this week, I think.
He did.
Yeah.
Biggest team surprise, we already talked about most of those. We talked about Tampa Bay. We talked about the Jets. We talked about Dallas. Yeah,
I think there was a lot of surprises, in my opinion, this week.
Yeah.
Carolina was mine.
Yeah, Carolina. You mentioned that. Yep, I remember that. And I don't know. Buffalo to do that. I mean, I know that's still a lot to do against a decent team. I'm not going to say. I guess Seattle's not a great defense, but they're a decent defense, and they don't let teams do that to them, and to have them do that.
They're just the worst pass defense I've ever seen in my life. Like it's just so bad. Like
I can actually
because I so I went into this week thinking, I think it was this week. Who did Arizona play? Yeah, Miami. And I was like, okay, yeah, because I gave Arizona a lot of credit because they beat Seattle, and I was like, oh man, maybe Arizona's a little bit better than I thought. And then this week I was like, okay, that's a wrap, Arizona versus Miami. And then Miami beats Arizona, so I'm like, okay, that makes Seattle look even worse in my eyes, which I already have doubts on Seattle. So in my opinion, I don't think Seattle is that great of a team, so this isn't that big of a surprise to me.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's just my opinion.
They just got Jamal Adams back, and they just got Carlos Dansby from not Carlos Dansby. That's an old school name, isn't it?
Yeah. That's boy.
You're talking about Dunlap.
Dunlap, Cincinnati. So that should help them, right? Because you've got the back end.
It can't hurt. I mean, Adams is nasty, so that'll help.
I can give you biggest team surprise of what their defense was able to do, though. I mean, Russell. I mean, he gets sacked because, he holds the ball for a while, making plays. Yeah. But to hold that offensive, because even the score 44-34 or whatever, that's closer than that game was. I mean, that game was 44-20 at one point, I think. And the Seahawks were just scoring garbage time points to try to make I guess it was technically a chance of them coming back. So I'll give it that defense because, Seattle is vulnerable. But Russell Wilson on most days could have scored 50, but not when he gets he was getting beat up too. He was getting those were hard sacks. Those interceptions he was throwing was, because of pressure. That was just an impressive defensive performance in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think that and that's tough. That's tough to do. Yeah. There's a lot out there. Arizona has Buffalo coming up next week, and then Seattle. Golly.
I think my biggest surprise out of all of them have got to be Dallas scoring that many against Pittsburgh. Because I'm not kidding, they haven't scored double digits in the past 4 weeks, and then Pittsburgh, who I think has the best defense in the league,
it's number 2, yeah.
Let's fucking 19 against Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you always. At least I look at this way. I look at how can Pittsburgh still keep an undefeated season going? So they got to break at some point.
It could be somebody like Dallas.
And it's always. I know it's
Everybody is worried about Pittsburgh. You just need to figure out a way to get Mason Rudolph in there. He will fuck the season.
Well, doesn't Ben have COVID?
Yeah, he does. But he has. Yeah, he has a chance to play. That's what Tom said. So thank God we got 8 wins because when Rudolph comes in and screws the thing up, at least we can win our division possibly.
True.
I actually picked that as the mark my words. Well, I had already set my mind that because I didn't think they were going to struggle with Dallas. I just thought Dallas was such a bad team that it wouldn't be the trap game, and then this week the Bengals would be the trap game.
Right.
And I still kept it as my mark my words, but I'm not as confident anymore because even though the Steelers didn't lose, that should be a big slap in the face that a fourth string quarterback just kind of hung in there with you for 4 quarters. So
it really could be the Dallas is going into it with a mindset of we're playing an undefeated team, let's step it up, and Pittsburgh's like, who are we playing? So we'll look at next week.
Yeah.
Well, and McCarthy, he had a couple good decisions to go for it on 4th and stuff. Which obviously, when you're going for it on 4th, that means you're trying to win the game. Not every situation, but if you're punting on the other side of the field,
going against Pittsburgh, you're right. Let's go for broke. Let's just go out there and give everything.
Right.
You're pulling trick plays, probably fake punts if you have opportunities. You're pulling everything out.
Yeah. That's why
Pittsburgh's like, we'll rest second half. Whatever.
The Jets punted when they were technically in field goal range. Yeah.
Onside kick when they aren't expecting it.
Right.
So they should have done.
Had Newler in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. How about we kind of covered this too? Biggest team letdown that you thought was going to do good. Obviously, Tampa Bay we talked about.
Pittsburgh we talked about.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Tampa Bay,
All
that was just straight up pathetic. That was sad.
it was.
It was so enjoyable to watch that.
Well, it made me feel so good watching that. The icing on the cake would have been the shutout, but they had to go and friggin' just kick a field goal for the fun of it.
Brady got shut out. So
Yeah.
Yep. All right. How about most improved player? Stand out.
Covered that too, didn't we?
I guess Judy, who I said was my biggest surprise player, it could go into most improved, but I'll see if I can figure somebody else out real quick.
From week to week, that's the thing.
Right.
That's the interesting thing when you're looking at those is like Patrick Mahomes week to week. I mean,
Hard to improve.
no, but like I said from last week, Allen. I mean, I thought that was really impressive. I mean, what he pulled off and against, I mean, I don't know. I just
Allen's
think,
a good one.
I think we talked about it too with Kyler Murray. Oh my God. He had 106 yards rushing in 11 attempts.
Well, speaking of Kyler, I mean, honestly, you can throw some love to Christian Kirk. I think that's three
true.
straight games of 20-plus
That's
fantasy
true.
points. So.
I think
That's
it's got
true.
like 5 touchdowns in 3 games or something.
Yeah, I think that's
Something like
right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bridgewater, I think you touched on it, Chipper, or somebody did, how good of a game he actually kind of did, right?
Mhm.
This week. I mean, it was decent. I think all of it kept him in games and the run he had and stuff like that.
How about this random dude for Atlanta, Olamide Zacchaeus? Yeah. He had a 100-yard game. I'll give him most improved.
And a touchdown, right?
Right, and a
Big
touchdown.
touchdown.
With all of the receivers healthy, right? No. What's the name's out? Ridley's out, isn't he?
Or at least banged
yeah,
up.
he wasn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't. I
Ridley's
mean,
out.
yeah, he didn't do anything.
That's maybe why. I think Ridley was hurt, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
I thought it was fun to see Aaron Rodgers come back and have a good game.
Yeah.
He's
There you
he's improving. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, come on, he's a walk-in first ballot. But no,
I honestly, I agree with you. I tell you one that for me, because I don't know, Kelsey is so good. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he's most improved.
He's been
But
the number
again-
one tight end all season. You can't
I
really.
know, but he had 159 yards though.
I mean, he does. Yeah.
I mean, that's just nuts. I mean, that's just crazy.
Mhm.
That's pretty impressive. I have to admit,
Yeah.
I know it's
those-
not improved,
Yeah.
yeah.
but you gotta show a little love for a guy like that. You know,
Him
what I'm
and
saying?
You probably
what's
should have
the-
done it for a biggest surprise player, maybe. Just like
Yeah, I know.
rather than
That's
most
true.
improved, because he's literally been the best tight end the whole year. You can't improve on
You're
that.
I know, but man, when you have that impressive of a week like that, though, I mean, he helps that team.
So you could go Juju, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Because
that is a good
my
one.
man is finally giving me some points in fantasy.
Yeah.
I was on the verge of dropping him, and he is finally helping me out.
Getting some targets, getting in the end zone, doing what Juju do.
That is a good improved, because he sure was a letdown there for a little bit, huh?
God, it was bad. Now it's like, all right, this is what I drafted you for.
Right.
I was legit on the. I was asking, should I drop him?
Well, it could be. I mean, he was right there. It was borderline.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name kept him.
But then, as you were saying, now Big Ben's out. Just when Juju finally is fucking playing well. Let's go.
Oh, Rudolph will hit him.
I hope. Yeah, that'd be tight if Rudolph comes in and he just loves Juju and that's it.
Best thing that could happen is Myles Garrett slams him over the head and they put it in the third string.
Okay.
That's what I told Tom. That's what
Honestly, not that bad of a stretch. That could happen.
yeah. I'll tell you, I was looking because
that country dude. What was his name?
Who?
what?
The third string for Pittsburgh. He played a couple games last year. The duck caller, duck Duck Hodges or something like that.
Yeah.
I looked up a guy because I was looking for cornerbacks. I was just like, oh my god, I need some cornerbacks. But I was really impressed with 9 solo tackles from the Jets guy. Bless Austin. I don't even know who he is.
That
but I was looking
the cornerback.
Well,
Not be getting tackles.
I know, but I'm just like, I know, but I mean, for fantasy wise, I was like, damn, that's pretty good.
That's the third Jet corner that is good in fantasy. That's not good as a team.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Because I have one that's good, Locke has one that's good, and now you found one that's good. Like, that's just not good for the Jets.
Yeah. Nobody's playing any Jets, but in our league we are because we have defensive players.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Field getting beat.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, but that's what's fun. That's what's fun. I like to look at those kind of stats too. How bad you really are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, there was some good stuff though this week. All right, let's see. How about the "I told you so" moment from last week? We didn't really pan through on that, did we?
No, I think I got mine all wrong. Is the "I told you so"? Is that talking about the "mark my words" that you said, or is that just like something that we talked about that you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's last week's. Yeah,
they're kind of the same, right? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of one and the same, but it's just over last week versus this week and stuff.
So mine was the Jets win by 3. Oh, it's so damn close.
Yeah, that was close.
Oh,
I mean, mine was like Cam was going to have 200 pass yards and 200 rush yards. He had almost 300 pass yards, but not near the rush yards.
Yeah, they're not using the last couple of games. They have been using them to rush.
Yeah, I mean, just on the short.
Only
Like,
in the end zone.
I think when I was watching the game, there was some stat that was like they're 11 for 11 on third and fourth downs or like within less than 2 yards or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's because they use Cam on those carries.
Sneak, little
Yeah, read option type things. Like he's good. I mean, he's good at that stuff.
Yeah.
He can't pass for shit, but
Nope.
he's good at those read options.
So
As long as the option is to run, he's good.
I was actually super close on mine. I said that Tua was going to throw for 250 and 3 total touchdowns and a win. He threw for 248,
I know.
2 touchdowns,
Ugh.
and he did win.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was good. That was actually, when I was watching him play, I was like, "Damn, Steven's gonna be close on this one."
yeah, I know. 248 though. What a jerk.
I know. And you gave lots of numbers in that one too. That was good. That was good. That was a good mark my words or whatever. What did you have, Mark?
well, the Jets winning by 4.
Oh, that's right. By 4.
Yeah, we're going to win by 4, but yeah, there's a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
This week. A lot of surprises.
That's
Or
for sure.
surprising that the Jets lost, but
Yeah.
Just it's nice to see. I mean, Alex Smith, doing well. I like the Drew Lock. I don't know. I'm worried about him next week. He's doing pretty good. So
He is. He's
right there.
getting better.
Yeah.
especially now he's got Judy and everything
Yeah.
happening. And,
Let's just see if consistency can be there. That's the only thing.
right.
But
Yeah, we'll start week after next.
Yeah, for most
Yeah.
improved, like we usually do player, but I think Denver's got to be in that talk for most improved team because they started out the year as like just horrendous, like horrendously bad. And now like their defense has been stout, that's been their consistent thing, but their offense gets better week to week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have them pegged as one of the potential like up and comings for sure.
Yeah.
MPX 1606 says just traded Brady and Fournette for Nick Chubb. Who do you think won the trade?
Chubb.
If he plays, yeah, he's got a bad
So you
knee.
think
Yeah, I think he's coming back soon. I mean, I guess once again, it kind of depends on what you have.
Who's your quarterback that's going to replace Brady? Well,
Because
is kind
Brady
of also a factor in
obviously
that.
laid a dud this week, and he's done it, I think, once or twice before. But Brady's also been scoring like freaking in our league scoring like 80.
Comes back. He
Yeah.
comes
Yeah,
back.
he'll bounce back. He'll be back and forth. But I would rather have Chubb on my team than either one of those players. And being a Brady hater aside, I would still rather Chubb.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, I think
would
I
not
agree.
have.
Yeah, I think if you're trading Brady like that, you probably have a decent backup. Like,
Yeah,
even if it's like a Tua that you got to steal later, once he got called up or not called up, but
you can
I think
trade
that's fine.
quarterback off the bench for each week, though. As much as you play Brady with the matchup, right?
True.
So if you're going to be playing Brady with a matchup, go ahead and trade him away and just play the waiver, right?
Yeah. Brady, yeah, absolutely. All right, what do we got for Mark My Words this week? Who wants to start us off?
Hey,
I gotta look at all the matchups this week.
My mark my words is that the Pats get shut out this week.
Really? Wow.
Who has Baltimore DST in our league?
DST.
Scooter.
Scooter's not here tonight, but just so you know, Scooter, his defense going to do work.
Who are they shutting
Really?
out?
New England, he said. On Sunday night. It's gonna be another. It's gonna be another Sunday night. God, I'm just gonna go to bed on Sunday nights. I guess or find another show. Find another show if that's the case. I mean, so I mean, you may be right, but I'm thinking Vikings Bears. That game's just going to be. I don't think that's going to be close. I mean, I just don't.
Wait, in whose favor?
Right. Yeah.
Vikings. Cook's going to run again. I just think he's going to run and just go. I just think it's going to happen.
I think if that does happen, then I'm with you.
Yes.
If Cook goes for another 150, because that's what the Bears are. I mean, the Bears are one of the best run stopping teams.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is a situation like Herbert. Dalvin's gonna get his, but Minnesota's gonna lose that game.
You think?
Oh, really?
I think Dalvin probably will get like 150 rush yards at least, but they're still gonna lose.
Wow. Really?
I think it's like a Herbert Chargers situation.
There's a mark my words.
Yeah, that is a mark my words. That's Bears are 5-4 and the Vikings are 3-5. So I mean that makes sense to what he's saying. I mean they're Bears are one. This is what's weird. They're one game out from tying the Packers for first place.
They're not
So
the Packers.
I know, but I get what he's saying though. I mean, I mean the Bears definitely could beat Minnesota for sure. I don't know. I think Minnesota, if they do half of what they did, I think that especially Cook, I could see that as being a blowout. That's not my mark my words, but I just wanted to say that between those two games, I think that's the better game. But anyway,
the reason I picked the Vikings is because there's one good player in the whole both of the teams, and it's Dalvin Cook. So I'm gonna go with that.
Now,
I can't even think of another good player.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, they're both good.
yeah.
I think my headset died.
Well, that wasn't going to be my mark my words, but I'll add that to it. But the one that I was going to choose is Tampa Bay gets non-double digits again, and Carolina wins that game pretty handily.
I got Carolina winning.
Carolina's going to win that game pretty handily.
I think so. I'm with you.
Man.
Chipper, I love your picks every week.
They get spicy.
Yeah.
See, I say the Tampa Bay. Here's mine. Tampa Bay and Carolina. They go over 60 points.
Wow.
60 points. I really believe they're going to go over 60 points because Tom Brady, I think, is going to bring a comeback. The only thing is, I have to take it back because I was thinking McCaffrey would be there. Without McCaffrey, they don't score as many points. So I'm going to have to kind of rethink that. But that was what I wrote down was Tampa Bay and Carolina would both have. I mean, between the two of them would have 60 points. It would just be a battle because I think Brady's going to come back, like what Tom said. I mean, he doesn't just have duds or
pass rush.
Well, hold up. To that, mark my words.
Have a pass rush, and that's how you beat Brady. Is that you get scared?
True.
Coach,
The over-under on that game is 50.5, Dad. So you got to pick that. You can't say over 50.
I said over 60. I said over 60.
Oh,
He said 60.
Over 60 points.
Okay.
Over 60 points. Yeah, no, I said over 60 points.
So yeah, he went bold.
Yeah.
I did. That's strong. I mean, that's like one team with 38 and one with 20. You know, whatever.
If McCaffrey ends up playing, then I could see you winning that one. But if he doesn't,
or the Bucks
even if he
40
does,
and the Panthers scored 20. So
yeah.
still got
Who wins it, Michael? You didn't say who won it, did you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm Panthers all out on this one. I'm going Panthers, yeah, for sure. I want Panthers to win.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
I want the Panthers to win every game. I want them to win every game.
She's doing her cameo.
Evie.
She's telling me to be quiet because her babies are sleeping.
Oh, come on, Dad. What a terrible father you are.
All right.
I do think though, I'm going to add to that though, because I'm going to have a second half to that because I think that, and Tom, I'm going to get the name wrong, but it's Green Bay's wide receivers going to get 5 touchdowns.
That would be Adams.
Yeah, Adams. Okay. So I said,
You think he's going to get 5?
hey, Evie.
Yeah.
Hey, Evie. All right, maybe I better say 4.
What'd you say about Adams?
I think he's going to get 4 touchdowns.
Good with that. I got him in both leagues.
4 touchdowns.
Evie, hi.
She gone.
Bye.
Against Jacksonville, yeah, I say that he's going to get 4 touchdowns.
It could happen unless they're up 40 points in the first half. Of course, that could happen in the first half.
Yeah, then they take.
I feel like there's so many games this week that I could do. Mark my words.
Yeah.
We'll put them out there. Let's hear them. I want to hear.
Oh, you just want me
some
to have like 7 mark my words?
I do.
The best thing about like the Packers and the Seahawks though is like they could get up 30 or like they could get to 30 points in the first half and it still be a relatively close game.
Yeah.
So like it's not like because like you know Mahomes and then not that their defense is like stout, but when Mahomes gets up like 40, it's like 40-10.
Yeah.
It's over. But Rodgers and Wilson are like, all right, well we're losing 30-35, so I really got to turn this on.
You want a piece of that in fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
Seth out there says, I'm going up against a guy projected 142 points while I'm projected 137. This is a regular league. Yeah,
Right.
I got you. All right, Trey says, sorry for the big list here, but a full PPR, choose 2. DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Melvin Gordon, Fournette, Landry, Judy, Marvin Jones. Thanks, guys.
Judy.
Yeah, I think Judy and Swift, in my opinion.
Is Galladay out again?
Yeah, if he
Sure.
is, he might have to go. I think Jones has scored both weeks, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
He had a
yeah.
good week last week.
I'm
not
with
playing
the
Marvin.
Saturday. Didn't practice Wednesday. So
That doesn't mean anything, though. Freaking Stafford didn't practice all week and ended up playing.
true.
Yeah.
But for a guy who's been
You
out 2 straight weeks, it's usually not a good sign if he doesn't.
No,
He's not
yeah.
practicing.
So you've always got a shot with DJ, but that's boom or bust kind of thing. Gordon,
That one's too risky for my liking.
Fournette, I wouldn't trust.
Swift is good, though. Swift is good. Swift is good.
So this is the only thing I don't like about
Judy-
Marvin Jones
I
is
agree.
that he's been touchdown reliant for fantasy
True.
points.
I'd probably go Judy and Landry for safeness.
But I don't like Landry. Cleveland just don't throw the ball enough.
True.
I would go Judy and Fournette.
They might have to, though. They're playing Houston, so it might be.
Play Fournette, though. I mean, Ronald Jones and Fournette had a combined like 9 carries last week. And
What
So,
team is Fournette with now?
Tampa Bay.
okay.
So he only got 1 carry last week, but he still got 8 fantasy points because he got 6 catches, I think.
yeah,
And he's out-touched Jones like the past 3 games, and they're playing the Panthers, who have like a horrible run defense. So, and like you said, what they're good at is pass rush. And I think that means that Fournette, even if Jones steals some touches, because I think even though Fournette's been out touching him, Jones is still mixed in there.
yeah.
But I don't know. you know, Fournette, he's one of those guys that's a little touchdown reliant too to be like super relevant, but
Yeah.
I can picture him breaking one of those.
For me, I just feel like consistency-wise, Judy and Swift have got to be your picks here.
Definitely.
Like
Swift-
Judy's been getting lots of targets, and he's finally stepping up as like their number one receiver. I think he's a lock for one of the people in this. And then Swift is just a good running back who at least he gets most of the attention. Whereas like Melvin Gordon sometimes only gets like, I don't know, like 8 carries and stuff like that. And then Fournette doesn't even play really anymore. Landry, they don't pass enough. Marvin Jones has to catch a touchdown to be relevant. DJ Moore is just boom or bust. So I just think consistency, Judy or DeAndre Swift have got to be your picks.
There you go. I agree with all of that.
Big time.
Too many. You don't want too many Detroit players, though. I mean, come on. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It does get scary when you do that.
Well, Barry Sanders. That's it.
Yeah, Barry Sanders. Any more mark my words or anything? Anybody want to, Chipper? You want to throw a couple more in there?
Well, I mean, I feel like this one's kind of an obvious one, especially if Big Ben doesn't play, but Cincinnati gets the win for Pittsburgh's first loss.
That's my mark. That's my mark my words.
Is it?
Burrow throws for 265 and 3 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be bigger than that, but
I don't think he can do that.
I mean, dude, if Dallas scored 19 and I'm saying Burrow might just have a field day. Maybe Pittsburgh's falling apart altogether. I'm just kidding, but I do think this will be Pittsburgh's first loss if Big Ben doesn't play.
COVID. They do have 4 people on COVID, so 2 on defense, 2 on offense.
I think that every game that Ben doesn't play this year, we will lose.
That's your mark my words.
Yes, that's my mark. Every game.
That's why I said this one might be kind of obvious. So I figured that's probably not a good mark my words.
Every game that Mason Rudolph starts, he loses.
Wow.
Speaking of that, though, Tom, in your opinion, like, what do you want for the future as far as y'all's quarterback situation?
We need to draft somebody.
Yeah.
We do. Can you imagine being on the bench behind Ben Roethlisberger for 2 years?
Let him learn.
Yeah. That'd be
We
great.
could do what the Packers did and let draft someone to sit there for like 8 years.
Yeah, that was too long. But
Wait till he gets to be about 40.
Not go away, but yeah.
But even now they did it again. The way Rodgers is playing, Rodgers got another solid 5 years in him.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's going to be 36 by the time he gets his first start.
Not according to Green Bay, though. They don't like him. He's trying to prove them wrong.
I think that would be the worst position to be in college, to be the number 1 overall favorite pick.
Yeah.
I would not want to be 1, 2, or 3. I want
I agree.
4 or 5. First of all, you're gonna get a better team, and second of all, you won't have all that on you. You know, you go first overall. The expectations on you are like right away, or you're done. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only one that I could think that was like not a horrible situation. I mean, obviously they were the worst team the year before, but was luck to the Colts.
Right.
Because that was like they were kind of basing their team off of Peyton Manning.
Right.
He got hurt with that neck injury, so they didn't really have like a backup ready to go. So they were obviously horrible. But then Luck got drafted into a team that 2 years prior was
Peyton Manning's team.
Yeah, and like probably second round of the playoffs. So that one probably wasn't. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head, because obviously Baker to the Browns, that's double bad. The Browns are bad and Baker's bad.
Yeah.
Kyler to the Cardinals wasn't the worst, I guess. That's not the worst situation to be in. They weren't horrible.
I think one of the best has to be Mahomes to Kansas City.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because first off, who the hell even knew who Mahomes really was? And
he's not a number 1 pick, though.
No. I'm not talking number 1 pick. I'm just saying best situation for a quarterback. Because Pittsburgh's not ever going to have a number 1 pick. So I'm kind of talking on their team. Like if you get some quarterback that no one's really ever heard of, but you don't give him that pressure of having to perform right away, like Mahomes, everyone was just like, okay, let's just see what you can do. We got you pretty good team around you. Go do your thing, and then just balls out. I mean, I feel like Pittsburgh could be a very good situation like that. That's the only reason I brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that we should draft somebody, and I don't know why we wouldn't. I mean, Pittsburgh always doesn't ever get the first round pick, so
Right.
you're
never going to look at like the best option.
But I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing, though.
Yeah.
I agree.
See, I think they could be sitting on a Jordan Love right now because I actually like Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I just don't think it makes any sense for the Packers. But for the Steelers, that might make more sense because I don't think Big Ben, the way he plays quarterback, I just don't know how long he can keep going. Like,
he gets the crap beat out of himself.
yeah.
A lot of it's on him, but yeah. But you need a guy like that. 'Cause you look at when he's not on the team; it's a completely different team.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed though. What was Josh Allen? What was his pick?
God, I'd love to have somebody like that. A big old.
Like, he was early. I think he was top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't 1, 2, or 3. Is what I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I don't think so.
But
Mahomes,
I want to say like
wasn't 1, 2,
7.
3.
No,
I mean,
Mahomes is like.
Mahomes,
Did he
he
go
was
like second or third round?
probably.
Yeah, I mean, he was like that's why I'm saying that kind of thing is like just so prime if you can find something like that. But I think honestly a lot of it has to do with not so much a player's skill is the amount of pressure that you put on a young kid like that coming straight into the league.
What do you guys think of Kyler Murray? I mean,
Kyler Murray, another one. Yeah.
He's number one, right? He comes in, and
he's done better than I thought he would. He's impressed me because I always thought he was a better baseball player. I was like, why the hell did he choose football? But then he comes out and he's really good, and even with all the pressure and everything, like I was just like, I mean, and to be fair, he's really, really shining with, DeAndre and like a better offense around him. But
Mahomes was 10th overall. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I thought he was into the first round.
And he was a shortstop too. All these shortstop, Russell Wilson.
Right.
Yeah.
Translates well, apparently.
Sure.
So
Kyler was an outfielder, wasn't he?
Baseball shortstop is to.
Yeah.
But Deshaun Watson, he was a number 1, right?
No, he was number 12. He was picked after Mahomes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That was a great.
What about Herbert?
He was projected after his junior year. He was projected the number 1 overall pick. I remember that, but he fell because he had a bad senior year at Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon was just really bad, like as a team, and he didn't like carry them like you have to do in college. Like you just have to put the whole entire team on your back.
But you look at the top 5 quarterbacks. I mean, even
he was 6th overall.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Matt Ryan. He was number 1, was he?
I think so.
I know he was a Blue Hen. No, he wasn't Boston College, was he? He was Blue Hen. Oh no, I'm thinking of Falco. Flacco is who I'm thinking of. Yeah, you're right. Boston College. Okay.
Yeah, Flacco and Ryan, they're not the same guy.
3rd overall pick for the.
Flacco still makes me so angry with
both of them have been to a Super Bowl, and Flacco has won his. So there you go. So
MVP, baby. Up there with Nick Foles in the gang.
Dude, the way he was playing for that Super Bowl run was insane. Like he was so good.
Yeah.
But they had an amazing defense to go along with it too.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And an amazing run game and an amazing offensive line. Yeah, that was a good team.
Yeah, that was a good.
I'm just
team.
saying the numbers, like the QBRs and everything that he was putting up during that time, like somehow he was amazing that run.
I agree.
Stuck in his butt and farted the ball out, and somebody was, that was a good team.
I absolutely hate the way that Flacco throws the ball. My man throws it to the moon and like on like a slant route. He'll throw it so high, and I'm just like, why do you do this? Like,
well, it's better than Cam, who freaking throws it.
He throws it 90 miles. Cam reminds me of Vic so much because Michael Vick used to do that. He would just throw it 900 miles per hour, 7 rows into the stands, and just be like, "Why didn't you catch the ball?"
Yeah. And it had no peak on it. Just,
no, hell, it would have killed somebody if it hit a person out there in the stands.
But Vic at least it was like at least his looked good. Like it was like a style throw. Like he flicked that wrist. But like
Yeah,
Cam does
Cam
like a
does
freaking
nothing.
crow hop and like follows through. Like you think he's an outfielder throwing the football every time. It's like, dude, calm down. Like, why can't you just use your arm sometimes?
Right. His footwork is terrible. I mean, sometimes when he throws,
Horrible.
I mean, just
It takes like 7 seconds for him to get the
You're right.
ball out.
He gets caught on his back foot a lot.
yeah.
He's doing all the steps. He's like, punch the little man, twist the fucking press the bug. Like,
That, I mean, when you're talking like that, it reminds me. I saw a really cool video on John Elway. They used to have machines throw the ball at the receivers because that's how hard he threw. And in the cold weather, they would just freeze the footballs and just freaking send it to the guys. And just, I mean, they had to learn to catch the ball because he threw it so stinking hard. But he was pretty accurate.
I'm sure y'all have seen Antonio Freeman's fingers.
I was about to say,
long-time
Favre-
receiver.
Are they all?
They're
No.
just like all like discombobulated because he caught Favre for like 10 years.
That's right.
Yeah, from what I've heard from the players, Favre was like, but the thing is, Favre was hitting them in their chest and shit like that. Like whereas Cam and Vic and
Yeah, in the stand.
they're killing their
On
fans.
the sidelines. Guys on the sidelines. All right, we got to get to picks. Let's get to picks. All right, here we go. This one's, let's see. The first one is, Steven, you're the only one who is taking the Colts over the Titans.
Not going to happen.
Explain yourself.
I think the Titans are the better team, but Thursday night games are usually weird.
True.
I think the Colts kind of laid a dud in the last couple, if I remember correctly, at least the last one. So I think I picked them to win the division, so this would be a good opportunity. Phillip Rivers does weird things. He wins games he probably shouldn't. Loses
Talking
games
about-
he probably shouldn't.
Rowan.
That's a pretty hideous motion.
That
Yeah.
is a-
It is his own unique style, but
It's so
that's
weird.
pretty hideous.
He's at least decently accurate with it.
Right.
I'm
He's all
okay
like-
with you having weird styles as long as you like it works for you. Not like
Like,
okay, it doesn't
almost-
work and it's weird. Let's do something different.
It's almost like his shoulder pads are bothering him.
yeah, well, like they're way too fucking tight. Like he's just like,
It's like,
why can't you do a full? What are you doing? Like, but he
All
throws
right,
it 45 yards in the air. You're just like, how? Like you literally just used your wrist. Like,
I know. Green Bay, everybody took over Jacksonville. I think that's self-explanatory on that one. We don't need to go into great detail there. Washington and Detroit, and this is interesting because Tom and Mark took Washington. Everybody else took Detroit on this one.
Mark, me and you, the outliers, we're always so
Yep.
Radical.
Well, Stafford's not playing, right? Is he out? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is Stafford out?
So that's what
I
I
have
was
no idea.
thinking
It doesn't
too.
matter. You're playing Washington.
If Washington can't beat the Giants, they can't beat the Lions. That was my logic.
Oh. And, you know, it's one of those things that go either way. And I was looking, okay, better quarterback, Detroit. You know, it's Alex Smith, right? So going to get a bunch of short passes, and you can pass all day long on Detroit. So I think Washington could squeeze
So they're
that.
going to take the clock. They're going to run the clock.
Washington D is better, so you know,
Hey, but
Yeah, that-
Detroit can run, so it could be a close game.
yeah.
All right, next one is Houston and Cleveland. And Steven and Mark, you guys took Cleveland to win this one over, and it's a home game. I don't know why, but what do you think?
I
think
almost took Cleveland.
I think
but
by
it's Cleveland.
default. I mean, I don't think the Browns are good, but I think the Texans are way worse.
Yeah.
I think they're both just terrible, but I just can't get. I don't know. Cleveland's
I think
just
Cleveland's better, but I mean, Deshaun is. I mean, he's better than Baker, but it's not like Deshaun's special. He's an above-average quarterback. Maybe that's enough because the Browns are usually bad.
is Chubb for sure back this week.
I mean,
No, not for sure.
not
No.
for sure.
He's
If
practicing.
he was for sure there, I'd say Cleveland would win this. But
But the Browns are 5-3. They're only one game behind the Ravens. The Texans are 2-6. I mean,
I mean,
yeah, I did not. I would not pick that. My level of confidence in picking that is not very high. Like I'm kind of by default. Like I think overall the Browns are better. Maybe Deshaun, because Deshaun just have moments of greatness.
Yeah, he can win.
Maybe he pulls that out in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes and throws 3 picks like he's known to do. Who the hell knows?
I like that level of confidence. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It is. Could go either way.
All right, Tampa Bay and Panthers. Everybody takes the Panthers except for Steven takes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Come on, Brady's not going to do it twice in a row. He'll do it again, but he's not going to do it twice in a row.
And
He'll probably throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, and then everybody will be back to he's the GOAT, and then 2 weeks from now he'll get shut out again. So I just think these great quarterbacks, like we've talked about it with Rodgers. Not that I think at this point in career Brady's even close to Rodgers. But I just think with those great quarterbacks, they normally don't do it. They don't have duds twice in a row. So.
Hashtag not my GOAT.
True.
All right, this one. Okay, this is an important one. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are winning the division with 3 wins, and the New York Giants. We have 3 Giant winners here. Chipper, Tom, and Mark all took the Giants, and we are taking the Eagles. Everybody else.
That's one of those flip a coin too, but
wow.
Dallas Goedert carries them to victory.
In my opinion, Philadelphia's in first, but who cares? That doesn't mean anything to me. And
everybody else is 1 game away from
the Giants at least are showing me signs of being decent every now and then. Philadelphia's just like winning by default, in my opinion. They're just like, we're less shitty than that team, but I think the Giants are just going to finally be like, look, we're getting better. We're not less shitty than you, or more shitty than you.
Same. I agree.
In that division, you will all season long have been 1 game away from first place.
Right.
Everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Everybody.
yeah, they're first place in division, but that doesn't mean a damn thing to me.
That's hilarious. All right, the next one. We have one. Tom is going for the Chargers. Everybody else is going for the Miami Dolphins. Dude, where are you coming with that, Tommy boy?
So, it's another.
If this was early in the season, then you'd be saying that to everybody else. Where are we coming from that?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Did a good first couple of games. So
You're just trying to get hurt again, aren't you?
But I'm not.
Tua has been sheltered and hidden. He's not going to be able to come out and put up points like Herbert can. He just won't. And Herbert can do that on any defense. So.
Yeah.
This is the 2-6 Chargers.
Yeah.
losing their division.
I'll be honest. This one's a coin toss for me. Both are like on the verge of being like good teams.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, Herbert will go get his. Chargers probably will lose though, but Miami, I don't know. They impressed me by getting that win last week, and I mean, Steven's been hyping them up all year. Maybe I'm starting to lean towards maybe getting on that. I don't know.
Jump on.
But
Do you think they're listening to Steven?
yeah, I think they're hearing him.
You know what Tom is with the Chargers? I don't know if y'all ever seen that Michael Scott meme that says "I'm ready to be hurt again." Like that's Tom with the Chargers. He just keeps picking them, and then he keeps talking about how they're the best, worst team ever, and he keeps picking them, and they keep hurting him, and he's just like, "I'm ready to get hurt again."
Yeah.
It hurts so good.
Tom is playing the Mark this week. He's doing Mark's role this week because the next game is the Raiders versus the Broncos, and Tom's riding the Broncos. You're the only one, dude.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So I think the Raiders are all around a better team. Like we talked about before, too, though, the Denver Broncos are stepping up, and I think they can win this game.
Yep.
I think they can too.
I won't be super surprised, but if they win it, it'll be in the fourth quarter for sure.
Yeah, I got it.
The Raiders every single week. I always think they're a good team and they should win this game, and then they'll go and like just upset me. And so I'm just like, and Denver's been getting better, so I'm just like, maybe I could see that, even though I did pick the Raiders.
Drew Lock is awesome. Judy's great, and the Raiders' defense sucks. So you might have this. We might all be wrong.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yep.
All right, next one. This is so interesting. Scooter's not here to defend himself, but he's the only one that took Arizona over Buffalo Bills.
Well,
I
could.
I mean, it could happen, but my God, not with that. Yeah, I mean, what's going to be good about that game, I think, is watching two awesome quarterbacks just go at it. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to whose defense can hold the other one to.
I love Buffalo's defense. I think they're underrated.
I know. I mean, they're not bad. I mean,
Buffalo's defense are both like middle of the road, above average kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Could turn out to be a really good game.
Yeah, I think so too. This next one's interesting. A division game: Seattle Seahawks and the Rams. And Mark, you're the only one that took the Rams against Seattle.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I mean, you need more than Russell Wilson, and they got a great receiver, but Russell Wilson. He had a great game in the loss. But
I'm telling you, I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. In this division, it's crazy. Seahawks are 6-2, Cardinals 5-3, Rams 5-3, and the 49ers are 4-5.
Yeah.
That whole thing could swap if they could ever get any players back on 49ers.
I think to the point, though, that Chip's been making about the Seahawks for a few weeks now.
Right.
Each one of their matchups, like, I'm actually confident in picking the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But it would not surprise me if the Rams go and score 40 and win.
So
right? Like I'm confident. I know that the Seahawks are going to win.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't shock me when they lose.
Exactly.
Now, if they go out and lose 17-13, then I'm shocked.
That would be weird.
My thing this week, and I guess kind of in general, but Seattle is the Rams are the best. Like, they have the best record for like being the worst team. Like, they're not the worst team in the league, but their record should be only about 2 wins, in my opinion. Like, they're not a good team, in my opinion. And I think that it would be right if it was like better teams than the Rams. Like, I think Seattle will lose games, but I don't think they'll drop games to teams like the Rams.
So here's the weird thing about the Rams, in my opinion. They play bad teams well, and they play good teams really bad, So it's all about the game plan with them. It's all about the scheme, right? So if your guys can beat the other guys, I can see an argument for the Rams to take this game because the Seattle pass defense can be beat, Yeah. So if there's a team to do it, it would be a Sean McVay team.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Chip, I agree with your point. Other than that, the Bears take that award.
No, see, I'm still.
That's by far the worst 5-3
so
team.
good though.
They're not.
It's so good.
They're just ugly.
Like the Rams for me are like the Chargers, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like,
at least there's
the
hope
Chargers,
on the offense.
huh?
There's hope on the Rams' offense. The Bears,
Well, that's
other
the
than
thing.
Allen
They're
Robinson,
like
don't even
below
have
average
talent.
throughout the whole team. So it's like there's maybe hope, but there's probably not. With the Bears, at least that they could go and actually shut out a team.
The defense.
And they better if they want
That's
to
what I'm
fucking
saying.
win.
Their defense is that good.
They want to get a win. That's right. It's not coming from their quarterback, that's for sure.
I mean, I know they got the Super Bowl MVP out there, but
How about next game, Bengals and Pittsburgh Steelers? 2 people, Steven and Chipper, taking the Bengals. Dudes, what's up?
I said it kind of
Mark
in
my
my words.
I know.
I'm forced to do this.
Well, that was one of my like 3, I guess. But yeah, if Big Ben doesn't play, I actually think this is very winnable. And Dallas scored 19. I've already mentioned that against Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's got to lose at some point. A division game makes sense, especially without Big Ben.
And to be honest, even like for Tom as a Steelers fan, I think this could be a really good thing for the Steelers
to
lose.
Yeah.
Because you
Especially
do
to a team
need
that doesn't have a shot.
Right. And like it's gonna be a cool moment for Burrow and the Bengals and blah blah blah, but like not like a threat. But like if they would have lost to the Ravens, that's not really that kick in the ass you need. That's losing to another really good team.
Right.
Sometimes when these teams get to it, like when the Packers, granted they've done it twice now, but when they were undefeated and then went and got like the doors blown off by Tampa Bay,
I remember that.
like I think they needed that. Like they needed to okay, we can't just walk on the field and win. We actually have to try, pay attention, prepare.
Yeah,
So I
because
think
also
it's
it's
actually a good
super incredibly hard to have an undefeated season plus playoffs and Super Bowl and all that. So like, you know that if they make it playoffs being undefeated, that's always going to creep in the back of their mind. Like,
That's going to be
there's no way we go undefeated. There's no way.
And like Chip said, lose to the Bengals. It's not like it's going to come down to like any type of tiebreaker.
Right.
Right?
You're gonna
Oh,
lose to a team.
I don't know. Cincinnati, they have a tie. They do have a tie, so that could play to their favor. I'm
But
just
like if
saying.
you lose to like the Ravens, it comes down to like, oh god, we're tied for the division. Now it goes to points.
And the
for it, blah,
head-to-head
blah.
series is
Bengals
1-1,
is like, oh,
all
it's
that
okay.
kind of
It's
stuff.
okay. Even if the Bengals beat them twice, like,
to Dallas because it wasn't a division team. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Common opponent, though. Everybody else got to play Dallas, too. Let's see how they do. All right. San Francisco.
Everybody else in the league beats them.
That's right. That's true.
You're not going to win that one.
San Francisco Saints. Everybody took the Saints. Nobody has confidence in San Francisco 49ers. I think we talked about that one. How about New?
Because I really like them.
I know.
Not against any decent team for the rest of the year, to be honest. Like if they go and face Jacksonville, maybe they
Yeah.
might still be good enough to beat them, but the Saints are good. There's no chance.
Yeah. New England and Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
That should be unanimous. Don't tell me anybody thinks.
No,
Okay.
it's unanimous. It's unanimous. Yeah.
Shutout. That's what it is.
That's what everybody's banking on anyway, right? And
I got the
Monday
Ravens
night-
in the other league, so I'm good with that.
There you go. Monday Night Football. We have a couple Chicagoans. Chipper and Scooter went with Chicago. Everybody else went Minnesota.
I mean, this
I
was
wanna-
one of my mark my words. So
Yeah.
I want to clarify, no one went with Minnesota, but 4 people did go with Dalvin Cook. Nobody picked Minnesota to win this.
Guilty.
Point taken. Point taken.
I like it.
Dealing. That's good.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins probably not so much. We are not.
So, in other words, you're not going for Minnesota winning. You're going for Chicago losing.
To Dalvin Cook.
Dude,
Dalvin Cook more than 200 yards again.
I'm telling you.
Go for it. Mark my words. There's my mark my words. He's going to get 200 minutes.
200
Wow.
yards in Chicago. That's a big deal.
yeah, that's
That is
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I got him in fantasy too, so I'm down with that. Let's keep it going.
He is good.
He is good. He's great.
Good.
A lot of good players out there too, though. This is a lot of fun.
It is.
This is great, though. That was good. We did that in record time, I think. We were only an hour and 22 minutes. That's good for us. Usually we're way over hour and a half or whatever. But yeah, no, some good should be for some good. I hope it's good games, whatever it is.
Mhm.
I'm sick and tired of the blowouts.
Right.
I just like to watch good football. And the thing is I thought we would be past at this point because we're at the halfway mark, aren't we? I mean, I think we are in the season.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's played at least 8 games, I think, is the way it's panned out. But anyway, I just don't want to see any more blowout games. I really just can't stand watching a
Don't watch the Baltimore game.
The Packers can blow people out. I'm good with that.
I know. I get it. I understand your favorite team. and stuff,
Carolina's
but
about to blow out Tampa Bay, so
Yeah, don't watch any more Tampa Bay games.
oh my God. All right.
Lots of close games, that's for sure. Except for
I just
so go watch Chargers Miami. There's your close game.
There you go.
Chargers, man. Okay, whatever, guys. I want to see some good games. I want to see something that's worth. And yeah, even Monday Night Football was exciting with the Jets and the New England Patriots. That wasn't exciting. It was a close game, but it wasn't
It was
exciting.
excruciating is what it was.
That's what Tom said. Tom said I went to bed. He said I
Yeah.
just went to bed.
It's like there was like no like fantasy relevance. Like even like yes, me and Chip had 2 guys coming down to the wire. I think his got 3 and mine got 7. It was like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, it was pretty boring at the end there.
They were both Jets DBs too, weren't they, or something like that?
Mine was the Patriots running back that got everything stolen from him, and then he got knocked out.
I had New England defense, and I was like, "Oh God, this is awful."
That's true. Luckily, you had already won your matchup, but that would have been like the same way the Steelers like super disappointed me. Like that couldn't have been better for above average defense in the Patriots. You get 1 week where you get to go score 55 in fantasy, and you didn't score that.
I know.
What did Pittsburgh end up with on that game?
They still got like 20 something, I think.
Which is playable, but not Pittsburgh.
Well, it's just not. It's not against Dallas,
right? Not in that matchup.
I think the Giants scored like 45 against Dallas. Yeah, they got 25. I mean, that's solid. I'll take it. But I was especially ending up losing my matchup if I had gotten freaking 45 like I was hoping.
That's why I actually like having Philadelphia's defense because they get me a lot of points, but they were on a bye, and I was like, "Oh, great, here we go."
Yeah, perfect scenario is like, oh, my defense is on a bye. I get to play someone against the Jets, and the Jets scored 30 points for the first time in 3 years.
I know. I'm like, oh, this is perfect setup. Maybe not.
God.
But anyway. All right, I'm going to end the recording. Thank you guys, anybody that was watching or anybody watches this later. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys out there. Thanks, guys. See ya.